This is the perfect mood for him to do it. So one more time for Brian.
Good evening, good people. My name is Brian and I have ALS, the same disease Steve Gleason has. And I understand that all people in wheelchairs look the same, but I assure you, I am not Steve. I was the other day and ran into one of Steve's biggest fans, and she begged for a picture, so I obliged and took a picture with her. I didn't have the heart to tell her. Now, I am not much of a public speaker, and I am nervous AF. I literally feel like I can't move. This is my make it or break it story, when the stakes were life or death. I'd like you to imagine a world with me before COVID. It is a beautiful day in September. The year is 2019. I wake early and head to the gym. Following my workout, I lace up my running shoes and begin my morning run. On this day, it's just a short 3-miler. My pace was great as I ran along Bayou St. John, the morning breeze cooling the beads of sweat rolling across my freshly shaven head. At the 1-mile mark, I noticed something wrong with my gait. My left foot is not making its full stride, but instead is hitting the bayou dirt as it tries to make its way through. 8 months later, in April 2020, I was diagnosed with ALS and told I had 2 to 5 years to live. As we left the doctor's office, I fell to the ground, feeling like a piling in the shaft of a pile driver. I had been smashed to smithereens. My wife and I wept in that corridor for what seemed like hours. It didn't take long for ALS to destroy my body. Within 2 years, I lost the ability to walk, talk, eat, write, bathe myself, and so much more. Actually, the bathing part excited me because I knew that meant more showers with my wife. However, when I realized she was going to keep her clothes on, it suddenly became less thrilling. The one thing that I still had was my ability to breathe. My doctor was pleased with my lung capacity as I was still breathing well and strong on my own. And then in October of 2022, I got the flu. We were out of town visiting a friend where I stayed in bed all weekend and high as a kite to keep me relaxed as I gasped for air. Upon our return home on October 10th, I journaled, quote, "I am in a really dark place. I'm legitimately scared for the first time. I am fearful. Episodes like Thursday night and last night and this morning, I literally feel like this could be it. Because I can't breathe, and then I start sweating, and then I am having a panic attack, and it's dark. This morning, I felt like tapping out and that scares me." End quote. The next morning, I found myself in the back of an ambulance being rushed to the hospital, having no idea if I would ever return home. After being stabilized in the ER, I was transferred to the ICU. The next day, my favorite doctor and one of the most beautiful humans I have ever met sat next to my bed and said, "Brian, we are at decision-making time. We can either make you comfortable as you transition from this life to whatever is next, or we can do a tracheostomy in which you will live the rest of your life on life support. It will be difficult and very expensive, but you will still be here with us." I figure most people would say that is a no-brainer. But the truth is, 90% of ALS patients decide not to get trached. Reason being, this is a challenging way to live. You are basically a fully cognizant human being who is incapable of doing anything except thinking. Now, here is an important part of the story that I have not mentioned. I have 5 kids, ages 18, 17, 16, 14, and 11. So, when my doctor asked me the literal life or death decision, and I was all hopped up on all kinds of drugs, I was ready to die. But in the midst of the pain and fear and chaos, I had a brief moment of clarity where I was fully in tune with my wife, my own soul, and the oneness. I whispered to myself, Micah, Jonah, Nate, Lucas, Zoe Boone, and I looked at my amazing doctor and I said, I have 5 kids at home who are waiting for me, and I'm not done imparting myself to them. So do whatever you have to do to keep me here. That is the last thing I remember. I woke up 14 days later and asked my wife when is surgery, and she replied, "Baby, it's done. You are trached, and you are back." I have now been living with this little black box on the back of my chair for 6 months, and it is fucking difficult, but I am here with my wife and kids and neighbors and friends. So, I'm here for it. I leave you with this. No matter where your life takes you, remember this. Life is a beautiful clusterfuck and love is here. Thank you. Love.